Dear students, myself Dr. S.K. Singhal. Today we discuss about thermal energy. Thermal energy is also called heat. It is the energy due to which we feel hot or cold. If the energy flows into our body, we feel hot, and if it flows out our body, we feel cold. Heat is thus an important form of energy connected intimately with our life and comfort. For example, when we touch ice, we feel cold because heat is taken from our body. Similarly, when we come near the flame, we feel hot because heat is taken by the body. In this lesson, we will study about the heat, its various effect and its role in our lives. After completing this lesson, we will be able to distinguish between the heat and temperature, describe experiments to show the expansion in solids, liquids and gases, describe the construction and working of laboratory thermometer and clinical thermometer, state different scales of temperature like Fahrenheit scale, Celsius scale, Kelvin scale, relate readings on Fahrenheit scale, Celsius scale and Kelvin scales of temperature and solve numerical problems based on their relationship. Give example of latent heat and its application in our daily life and define specific heat and give SI units. Concept of heat and temperature now we are discussing. Heat is basically a form of energy. We can understand about the energy from as follows. When water is boiled in a kettle, the steam built up and the kettle rises as lids up, and when the steam escape out, the lid falls down. Here heat is doing the work, so it is a form of energy. Temperature and heat are actually related. Normally, if more heat given to a body, its temperature become higher. The degree of hotness or coldness of a body called temperature. So, temperature is a quantity which tells us how hot a body is. If a body is kept in a contact with the colder body for some time, we will find that the hotter body does not remain hot. That hot, the colder body becomes somewhat hotter. So, heat is transferred from a hotter body to a colder body, means from a body that is higher temperature to a body at lower temperature. Hence, the temperature is the degree of hotness of a body which determines the direction of flow of heat. Heat always flows from a body at higher temperature to a body at lower temperature. So, we can see now how heat and work are related. As we know that heat is a form of energy which can do mechanical work. So, these two are interconvertible, heat into work and work into heat. The devices which convert heat of steam into mechanical work are steam engine. We can convert mechanical work into heat also. If we rub our hands together, they become hot. In this fact, work is done against the friction is always converted into heat. The equivalence of work and heat are noticed and experimentally established by J.P. Joule. Measurement of temperature is done through a thermometer. So, the device which is used to measure the temperature is called thermometer. There are different types of thermometers available which are used for different purpose. The thermometer that the doctor uses to measure the temperature of human body is called clinical thermometer. Another thermometer that we use for measuring the temperature in science experiments in labs is called laboratory thermometer, and thermometer that meteorologists used to determine the maximum and minimum temperature during a day is called maximum minimum thermometer. These days are using digital thermometer for different purpose, like that for measuring the temperature of body we may use the digital thermometer. Now, we see the construction of a thermometer. Mercury in a glass thermometer is conventionally used in a day-to-day applications. In this type of thermometer, there is a thin walled bulb attached to a thick walled capillary. The bulb and certain height of capillary are filled with mercury by repeated heating and cooling. The capillary above mercury level is evacuated and its upper end is sealed. Then the thermometer is calibrated to the measured temperature. For calibration, lower and upper fixed points are marked respectively by buying the bulb first in melting ice and then steam for sufficient time. So, that mercury level in the steam remains fixed with the time in each case. Now, the question is, why do we use mercury in the thermometer? The following properties make the mercury the most appropriate liquid for accurate temperature measurement over a wide range. First thing, mercury is sensitive to temperature. It absorbs a small heat from the body in contact and has large uniform expansion over a wide range. Second thing, it is opaque and does not stick to the wall of the container. So, that is why we use mercury. Now, temperature scales, there are 3 types of temperature scales. These are Celsius scale, Fahrenheit scale and Kelvin scale. In Celsius scale, the lower fixed point, ice point, is marked at 0. Upper point is a steam point that is marked at 100, and interconverting space is divided into 100 equal parts. In Fahrenheit scale, the lower fixed point is marked at 32, upper fixed point is 212, and intervening space is divided into 180 equal parts. In case of Kelvin scale, the lower fixed point is marked at 273, steam point as 373, and the space between them is divided into 100 equal parts. SI unit of temperature is Kelvin. There is a relation between all 3 scales. You can see C minus 0 by 100 is equal to F minus 32 by 180, K minus 273 by 100. Effect of heat. When a body is heated, change may occur in some of its properties. These changes are the effect of heat. Some of the effect of heat, as you might have observed, are: number 1, rise in temperature. When a body is heated, its temperature increases. That is why it appears warmer when touched. Second thing, change of state. When heat is supplied to continuously, temperature rises till a stage when it may change into its liquid state. Now, melting point. This characteristic constant temperature at which a solid change into the liquid state is called melting point of solid. The heat that is transferred to the substance during melting is called latent heat of fusion. Latent heat of fusion of a body, a substance, is defined as the amount of heat required to convert a unit mass of substance from solid to liquid state at its melting point. Similarly, boiling point, when the heat is supplied to a substance in liquid state, its temperature rises, but there is a possibility that it changes into the vapor state at constant temperature. This characteristic constant temperature at which a liquid changes into the vapor state at atmospheric pressure is called boiling point of the liquid. Latent heat of vaporization of a liquid is defined as the amount of heat required to convert unit mass of substance from its liquid state to the gaseous state at constant temperature. You can see here, when we heat the solid, then the temperature changes, and after that the change of state takes place. Similarly, when we heat the liquid, the change of state takes place. Now, we discuss about thermal expansion. So, there is an activity. You can see, we take a metallic ring fitted with a handle and a sphere of some metal fitted with the chain, such that the sphere just passes through the ring. Now, we heat the sphere in steam for some time and place it over the ring. Does it passes through the ring now? It does not, because the size of the sphere has increased on heating. In fact, every material except water, which contract on heating between 0 to 4 degree centigrade, expand on heating. The increase in the size of body on heating is called thermal expansion. The expansion of different material is normally different. This fact can be easily noticed with the help of bimetallic strip. Bimetallic strip is a strip which having the 2 layers of 2 different metals, one over other. So, when we heat the bimetallic strip made of the steel and aluminum, when we clamp one end of the strip and heat it uniformly with the help of Bunsen burner, it bends with aluminum layer outward. It shows that aluminum has increased in length more as compared to steel, causing bending. Another thing is coefficient of linear expansion. A metallic bar of length L at temperature 0 degree centigrade, increase in length is delta L at a temperature delta T. Then delta L is proportional to L into delta T. So, delta L is equal to alpha into L into delta T. So, L alpha is a constant for the material of the bar and called the coefficient of linear expansion of the bar. The coefficient of linear expansion of material is defined as the change in length per unit original length per degree Celsius rise in temperature. The SI unit of coefficient of expansion is per Kelvin, which is same as per degree Celsius in magnitude. The coefficient of volume expansion of a material may be defined as the change in volume per unit original volume per degree Celsius rise in temperature. Similarly, here we have gamma, that is delta V upon V into delta T to show the expansion in liquid. We take a small transparent bottle, we can take injection bottle, fill with the water with the up to the brim, make a small hole in its cork and insert a thin transparent plastic pipe in it. We can use the empty ball pen refill for that, so that the lower end of the pipe dips in water and water rises in the pipe to a certain height. Mark the level of the water in the pipe indicated as A, suppose. Now, heat the bottle. What do we find? Does the level of water of the pipe come down? Why? We see it, we observe it. Keep on heating the bottle continuously. Does the level of water start increasing after reaching a certain minimum level, or does it shoot at the initial position A and rises further up to height C? Why it happened? Can you infer from the experiment that the water expand more than glass for the same temperature rise? As you have seen initially because when we heat the bottle expand, that is why the level falls. Now, we have another activity to show the demonstration of expansion in gases. Take a thin walled narrow bored glass tube and entrap in a drop of mercury in it. The heat one end of the tube and pressing it hard surface to seal the end. Let the tube cool to a normal temperature. Hold the tube vertically and mark the position of the mercury in the tube. This way we have entrapped column of air between the mercury drop and sealed end of pipe. Now, even if we warm the air column by holding it in our hand, we can see the drop of mercury shifting its position. Does it move up or down? That concludes from this experiment that show that the gases have higher expansion even for a small rise in temperature. We can also see the example of thermal expansion in our daily life. You can see, suppose we have a bottle and the cap is tight, we dip the bottle in the boiled water, it expands and it becomes loose. Similarly, we have the thermostat that is also based on the principle of thermal expansion. We have another example like that, the wheel, there is a two space is provided between the two railway tracks, because in expansion the length increases. This is a gap between the two railway tracks. Now, we discuss about specific thermal capacity of a material. First, we discuss about thermal equilibrium. When we keep two bodies in contact at different temperature, heat is transferred from a body of the hot body to the cold body till both of them acquire the same temperature. The two bodies then are called in thermal equilibrium. In acquiring the thermal equilibrium, the hot body loses the heat and cold body acquires an equal amount of heat. That means, the heat lost by the hot body is equal to heat gained by the cold body, provided that there is no loss of heat to the surrounding. So, we define specific heat. It can be seen that the temperature of hot body is more, the rise of temperature of cold body will be more, means heat is transferred from a hot body to a cold body is directly proportional to the temperature difference. More the temperature difference, more the heat. So, heat is proportional to difference in temperature. Similarly, it can be shown if the mass of the cold body is more, it will absorb more heat from the cold body. So, Q is proportional to M and Q is also proportional to delta theta. So, Q is proportional to M delta theta. So, Q is equal to M S delta theta. So, S is a constant here and which is called the specific heat capacity of the material. So, specific capacity of material is defined as the amount of heat required to raise the temperature of unit mass of a substance through unity. The SI unit of the specific heat capacity or simply specific heat is joule per kg per Kelvin. The specific heat capacity of different materials may have different values. So, what is the conclusion? First thing is that heat is a form of energy which gives us the sensation of warmth. Temperature is the measure of the degree of hotness or coldness of a body. Heat and work are related to each other. The device which is used to measure the temperature is called thermometer. There are three types of temperature scales like that Celsius scale, Fahrenheit scale and Kelvin scale. The increase in the size of body on heating is called thermal expansion. When a body is heated, the temperature increases, so its state changes or thermal expansion takes place.